So basically, it's called Road Trip Nation, and it's where you interview people that you look up to or is in the career or field that you plan on getting into after high school. So we're going to ask a couple questions.
Okay.
And
Hopefully. And then we're going to get down to the serious stuff. The ass
oh yeah, the
ass I don't want to do it. Take too long. Okay. First question. How did you see yourself at 17?
At 17, I actually was a graduate out of high school already.
What did you think?
I graduated at 17.
That's good.
So you said, what did I think I was going to be doing? My plan was to go to college. And I had a full scholarship to college. But it didn't happen like that. I got pregnant. So I couldn't go to college. And I lost my scholarship because my mom wouldn't keep my baby. So that's that.
So we're kind of in the same boat. I've already had mine about 2 years ago.
I heard.
You heard?
I heard. Someone was trying to put you in the army. So we was trying to make sure there wasn't any roadblocks that would keep you from going.
Question?
let me see the list.
I'm not good at this type of stuff.
Alright, so you said, I'm just going to read it off. So you said that you had a child. So what did you do after that? Like, how did you get to where you are, basically, is what I'm saying.
So after I had my first kid, I just started working at a factory with my dad. And then I got pregnant again. And I couldn't work because I was very sick. So I lived with my parents, and they pretty much supported me until after I had my baby. And then after I had him, I moved out on my own because I thought I was grown enough to do it on my own. And I did. I moved out. I struggled, but I worked and I figured it out. I took care of my 2 kids and I paid my bills without the help of anyone else because I knew that's what I needed to do.
You have any advice for me?
We'll talk offline.
Okay.
You got a question?
Did anybody inspire you to be in the army?
Actually,
What made you pick the army? I guess.
So I always wanted to join the army. It was my second option from college because I couldn't go to college after I had my first baby. I enlisted in the army, but then I got to MEPS with Military Entrance Processing Center, and that's when I found out I was pregnant with my second child. My mom agreed to keep my kids, my first kid, but when she found out I was pregnant with the second one, she was like, I can't do 2. So I worked until I was 25, and I had a third son. And after I got him in after I got him in elementary school, in kindergarten, I left and joined the army. I always wanted to be a part of the military because I knew there was stabilization. I knew I could go to college. I knew that they had health benefits that would take care of my kids. I knew that I would have the opportunity to travel the world. That's what I chose to do. And that's one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. I didn't end up joining, though, until I turned 30. And I woke up one morning, you might think this is crazy, but I woke up one morning and decided I was tired of going to school because I was in college. I was tired of going to school. It wasn't paying the bills. I was tired of struggling from paycheck to paycheck trying to take care of 3 kids. Not 1 kid, but 3 kids at the age of 25. So I got up and I went down to the recruiting station. And I talked with the guy at the recruiting station. I told him everything he needed to know. I did all my documents, turned in everything that he asked me to turn in, and I left. My kid, but at this time I was already married, so I left my kids with my husband. He didn't believe I was going to the military.
Really?
He thought it was a joke all the way up until the day that I left.
Wow.
So I got to the military processing center, and I turned around and looked at them all, because 25 of my family members went with me. Because they thought I was going to swear in. They was going to watch me swear in. Oh, they're going to take pictures. And then I was going back home. It didn't happen like that. I swore in and I left. And I was gone for 8 to 9 months before I went back home. So my husband had to learn how to take care of the kids and cook and clean and check homework and do household chores. All the stuff that I did before I left. But I worked full time. I was a part-time student, and I took care of all the household stuff as well as the kids. So it was a struggle. It was a big
Imagine
struggle.
with 3 kids.
So my advice to you 3, y'all all seniors?
Mm-hmm.
My advice to you 3 would be to make sure you have a backup plan for your plan. Because in my head, I had everything already worked out as a 17-year-old senior. I don't know how old you are. How old?
17.
We're all 17.
So y'all all gonna graduate at age 17?
Same.
Okay, so that works out. So in my head, in my 17-year-old mind, I had it mapped out. I was gonna go to college with my friends. They all went to college. Guess where I was? Home, working, taking care of my kid. I don't regret it. I don't regret any mistake that an adult would say as a mistake. Kids are not a mistake in my book, but I don't regret anything that happened to me because it placed me where I am today. I have a son that's a college student. He's a freshman in college. And I also have a senior that just turned 17 and he'll graduate when he's 17 as well. He goes to school in Virginia. So he's in the same boat you guys are, trying to figure out what they're going to do after school. Do y'all already have a plan?
I'm not sure. For me, I don't know about the rest of them. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Like I know I want to be.
You only have months.
I know, but like I'm kind of stuck. I don't know exactly what I want to do after high school. I'm just gonna go to COA or something. But I was thinking about the military in the back of my head because I know that you can get free education.
I'm in college right now.
Really? So what exactly are you going to college for?
Applied Science and Technology. So,
I don't know what I want to do. I'm leaning on the ASVAB right now. I have no
so
idea.
your ASVAB.
So what exactly is that? Like I know it takes you to put where you are. Like
So the ASVAB is a score that the military as a whole uses, not just the Army, but all branches of the military use to pretty much see where you place it. Your placement status tells us what jobs you qualify for. You don't want to have somebody that makes a really, really low score in the ASVAB doing a very hard job or a very important job. So your ASVAB score determines where your future lies.
So it's a big deal.
My score wasn't the highest, but I scored high enough score that I can do communications. So I'm pretty much the IT person in the Army. Computers, radios, any form of communication that you use here, I do in the Army. I just do it there.
Can you take it more than once?
The ASVAB, it's manual. So if you don't do so well the first time, you can take it again. And you can keep taking it until you get the score that you want.
Study? I think my brother had one.
We do. I didn't bring any information, but I do have cards. It's a program called March to Success, where they actually have ASVAB pre-tests up there. You can take the test up there, and it also preps you for college. You can take SAT test pre-test. You can take ACT pre-test.
It was March to Success.
March to Success.
That's the website?
Yes.
Okay.
March, the number 2, and Success. That's a website that we usually give all students who want to, practice for the ASVAB or ACTs or SATs. I won't push the Army on you. I'm not pushing the military on you. But what I will push is for you to have a plan when you graduate high school. You don't want to graduate high school in June and come August, you have no clue what you're going to do with your life. Work at McDonald's, work at Hardee's. By all means, I'm not saying that's the worst job in the world. Somebody got to feed us. Somebody has to do it. The people that chose to do it, they chose to do it. Hopefully they love their jobs. I'm not bashing it by any means necessary because somebody got to feed us. Just like there are cooks in the Army. Somebody got to feed the soldiers. We be in the field, we be hungry, we be hot, we be thirsty. Somebody got to do it. So every job somebody has to do. But if that's what you have planned for you, by all means, that's what you have planned for you. But if you plan to go to school, what schools do you plan to apply to? How do you plan on paying for these schools? If you plan on going to the military, what branch of the military? What's your ASVAB score look like? If you haven't taken the ASVAB, when do you plan to take the ASVAB? Things like that. I don't know about y'all, but my parents made me work. I could have lived home for free, but I didn't do that. I didn't want to put that much pressure on my parents. So I worked, and the little money that I made at Wendy's, because that was my first job, I paid the house phone bill. It was $50 a month. My mom knew I could afford it. She didn't want to break me. She knew I wanted to do teenage things, even though I had a baby already. So she made me pay one bill. That gave me some responsibility. And then that taught me, when I got out on my own and when I started having kids, okay, bills first, fun later. But take care of home. You have a plan?
I want to be a dental hygienist.
So you plan to go to college?
Mm-hmm.
Have you applied to any colleges?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what colleges you want to go to?
Yeah, I'm going to go to a community college near my family.
Near your family?
It's like
Yeah.
2 hours past Charlotte.
You're not ready to leave home yet?
I am.
Don't say that now.
You ready to leave home yet?
Mm-hmm.
You sure? Because you said you're going to go close to your family.
Yeah, like my parents live here, but their parents and all their family live.
Also, you want to go to near your extended family.
Yeah.
Okay, that's understandable. And then something go wrong, or you need some help with something, somebody will be close enough to assist. You're not sure yet.
I mean, I know what I'm gonna do, but I'm not sure if that's what I think I need to do.
Okay, what's your plan?
So right now, plan is to go to COA. So I mean, that's not far from here. Hopefully, get
I
my
actually
RN
just left
degree.
there. That's why I was late getting here.
Hopefully, get a registered nurse degree and then continue my education. But I don't know if that's what I need to do. I was thinking about the military, but how do you know if the military is for you? Like
You really don't.
until
You
get
really
into
don't.
it?
Just like you don't know that college is for you.
I don't think college is for me.
I didn't think college was for me, but I was going. Know why? Because everybody else was going, and I didn't want to be considered. You know how y'all think, the dumb one. She couldn't even make good grades enough to go to college, or if I went to a community college and they all went to four-year universities, I'm like the
I know what you're
the
saying.
has-been because I didn't go to a big college. Don't look at it like that. Just look at it like you have a plan, you have a goal you're trying to reach, and you're going to do it if you can reach that goal. I didn't know the Army was for me. I just always wanted to go to the Army. I thought, oh, Army girls, somebody see me in uniform, or they could be like, oh, look at her, hot stuff with her uniform on. I still think that sometimes. But anyway,
So there's no
I
way
didn't-
to know it until you get into it.
until you try it. You might go to college. College might not be for you. You might decide to go to Army. That's what I did. I went to college. It wasn't for me. I joined the Army, and then I'm like, I need a degree. So I'm back in college. I'm not too far away from my degree, but I made a bet with my oldest son. I plan to have my degree before you get yours. If I'm paying for you to go to school, the least I can do is get my degree before you get yours. So
What is he going to school?
that's my motivation. He's going to school for sports medicine.
Okay. He wants to be in the medical.
Yes, he wants to be medical field. So dental, nursing.
Yeah, that's cliche.
Down to you.
I have no idea.
Yes,
You have no, you haven't thought about anything.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Something has crossed your mind. I heard you were really smart.
I'm really smart.
So something has crossed your mind that you want to do. I know you consider the military because Mr. Told me, and Mr. Lister mentioned it, and Miss, I don't know her name.
Baby.
Yeah. She mentioned it. So everybody talking about Taquisha, but Taquisha don't know what Taquisha want to do. And you don't think college is for you because what?